Black Panthers in Philly want smoke with ICE agents. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Adversary is another word for enemy. And I'm doing this quick video to let you know, man, don't go out there and be thinking like the Black Panther individuals. And remember, there's also a lot of control opposition, a lot of agent provocateurs. Remember, they had the, what was it called? The no fuck around gang and all that. They had Jakes coming out and doing things like that. No. All we supposed to do as so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Hebrew Israelites, all we're supposed to do is bring forth prophecy and let the world know what the future is going to be for them, whether they're an Israelite or a heathen. But with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High Yahawah and His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI. Them honors to my elders, our great millstone, taught me this truth through the Spirit. Singing honors to the elect, peace and blessings to the 1/3, and to the confusion that faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. So going into the article, it says, as tensions between the public and U.S. immigration and customs enforcement mount following the ICE agent shooting and killing of an unarmed U.S. citizen in Minneapolis, the Blue Panther Party for Self-Defense has shown up in a supportive capacity in Philadelphia, and they didn't come to play. Understand this. The unarmed U.S. citizen was a Shedamite. In other words, a Caucasian female, adult female, who also was married to another female. That has nothing to do with why she was taken off the face of the earth, but it's just a little bit of her background. Now, her husband did pass away prior to her getting with that woman. But the reason why I'm bringing all that information up is Jay willing to go and stand in Philly against ICE that took a woman's life in Minnesota. And let alone she wasn't even an Israelite woman. That's why some of this is kind of fishy. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, are you like agent provocateurs? All of a sudden, y'all pop up out of nowhere, and then y'all start talking with leasing, very forward. Okay, and I'm gonna get there. We go to show you, man, that you live by that sword, you're gonna die by that sword. Remember, Esau's blessing is the sword. The sword is an instrument used for death. So what is the gun used for? An instrument used for death. And Esau is an expert at shooting, expert at guns. Remember, he's a man of the field. Read Genesis, what was it, 24? Right? So Jake got there with Esau's blessing, thinking that they're gonna curse him with his blessing. That's wild. But here it goes. In footage circulating online, the members dressed in black bomber jackets emblazoned with the white and black Panther logo, berets, and carrying military-style weapons, which they are legally permitted to carry. I'm going to pause right there. Was not the Black Panther Party back then in the day, were they not legally allowed to carry weapons? But then they kicked down Hugh P. Newton, right? Kick down his door and shoot the man in his sleep in the bed. Like fucking cowards. Now I'm getting upset. I apologize. Now I'm getting upset. Yeah, man. Every time Jake tried to rise or overcome, Esau always cut us down at the foot. If I'm not mistaken, it was the COINTELPRO. The papers in COINTELPRO said there can never be another black Messiah. Let that sink in. When you speak, oh, that remind me of Amos 5, was it Amos 5 and 10? They hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They hate him that speaketh uprightly. Yeah, they hate individuals like MLK and Martin Luther King. Even though the Most High is not dealing with them pertaining to this word coming out, the Lord was still dealing with them in the rallying of Jay, which the Lord said, be ye angry, but sin not. But these fools right here, they going way beyond being angry. They telling them boldly that they're going to sin. Anyhow, let's get to it. Continuing, said they were to keep the people safe. In fact, Paul Birdsong, who identified himself as the chairman for the Philadelphia chapter, thinks things would have ended differently if they were on site on January 7th, the day ICE agent Jonathan Ross opened fire on Renee Good, unaliving her. What the hell you was gonna do on the 7th? The hell you was gonna do? Ain't DJ Trump talking about some insurrection act, which I don't know exactly what that is, but we can hear Trump talk about an insurrection act. There was another. I apologize. There was another incident where somebody else got shot by an ICE agent, and the ICE agent also got shot. I think the ICE agent got shot in the leg, or the dude did. Insurrection act. Let's look this up together in real time. Whenever there is an insurrection in any state against its government, so ICE are also federal agents, the president may, upon the request of its legislature or of its governor, if the legislature cannot be convened, call into federal service such of the militia of the other states and the number requested by that state, and use such of the armed. I'm gonna leave it right there real quick. Let me see if I can get there. And use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to suppress the insurrection. So in other words, an insurrection will be like a peaceful protest. But do know there are agent provocateurs, and you have federal agents that are inside these crowds inciting riots, people. So even for Jay, let's say sincerely they really talking about they want to protect the people. This is not the way to go about it. The Lord said, be wise as serpent, but harmless as doves. This isn't wise. Now, this is a quote from him. I think his name is Birdsong. Last name is Birdsong. That wouldn't have happened if we were there, he told the Philadelphia Inquirer. Not a single person would have got in touch. Come on, man. Stop it. Don't even listen to yourself. Was Mr. Paul Birdsong? All right. While chatting with Philly AM TV, he doubled down saying, "Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you." Come on, man. We got to do better than this. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 1 through 2. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. That's an ICE agent too, a federal agent, the U.S. Coast Guard, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? The National Guard. Okay. A detention deputy, a Leo, a law enforcement officer, anyone. You know, my mother been a detention deputy, man, my entire life, damn near, for almost going on 30 years. The people that maintain the inmates inside, you gotta respect all of them. I saw a video on YouTube where this Jake inside a prison kidnapped a detention deputy, kidnapped them. And you know, all the other Jakes, they moved out the way, so he up on the staircase holding the detention deputy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really, what he got, like probably a shank or something, I don't know. And they come in with like 10, 12 dudes with shields and gear and everything. They all get to the end, y'all get to the bottom of the staircase. Jake is at the top. Jake got the dude in front of him. All Jake do is like let the dude down a little bit so he can like kneel or no sit down, and all they do is show Jake whole body. Man, one officer pulled out his service arm, his handgun, took Jake out right there. Justified. He's justified in doing that. Why? Job 9:24, the earth given to the hands of the wicked. Their powers to be have been ordained by the Most High. You can't go against what the Most High has already ordained. So, going back. Oh, now this is the bull job. This is the reason why I did that. Bear with me for a moment. Now, going back. This is Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God, the Most High. Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So what they're doing right now, they're condemning themselves, man, trying to go against powers that have been established and ordained by the Most High. Right? Now, he added, unarmed woman was killed by ICE. An Edomite, a Shedamite lesbian woman was taken out by ICE. Why is Jake getting all up in fucking arms, man? Now, imagine if Jake had this same smoke and heat when the ICE agent first started going at the Northern Kingdom. Now, maybe I'll look at you in a different way, which I don't condone holding the weapons and fighting and all that. I ain't with that. Listen, I do martial arts, man. I'm a weapon myself. I think guns are for cowards, but they make an equalizer. I understand that, you know. That's a saying called fight fire with fire. They're like, how you gonna fight fire with fire? Well, if he has a gun and you got a knife, well, you better go get you a gun. What they're trying to say, fight fire with fire. But this is not our fight. This is not our fight at all. Especially with her. No. Right? If going back to his quote, he added, unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, F around and find out. Anyway, and then they go to say a reemergence of the original Black Panther Party, founded in 1966 by Huey P. Newton in Oakland, California, which strove for black liberation, led armed patrols to monitor and stop police brutality, and established community programs like free breakfast for children, health clinics, and schools. Birdsong said the modern version functions much the same. We're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now. You dig? You dig, bro? This ain't stop, bro. Ain't the 70s and 80s. You ain't got no bell bottoms. You ain't got no goddamn shoes with fish swimming at the bottom of them bitches like, I'm gonna get you, sucker. And what is the man talking about? Huh? You the same party that will get your ass put in the grass. How about that? You see what happened to Huey P. Newton? Now you think you go? Esau's more advanced now. Technology, Big Brother, all of that. AI. Who are you? They gonna have drones flying around scanning people's faces. Are you serious? You know what times you living in? But anyway, I don't want to make this too long. Matthew chapter 26, verse 48 through 54. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast. Who is this speaking? That was Judas Iscariot. This is the time he's going to betray YAHAWASHI, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, because the letter J in the English alphabet didn't exist 2,000 years ago. Okay. Verse 49. And forthwith he came to YAHAWASHI and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And YAHAWASHI said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on YAHAWASHI and took him. And behold, one of them which were with YAHAWASHI stretched out his hand, pretty much saying like, oh, hell no. I'm just saying like, you know, oh, hold on, you taking YAHAWASHI? I mean, you got to imagine what's happening. See, you see Judas Iscariot who was with y'all at the Passover. Remember? And even YAHAWASHI said he that dipped his hand in with me or twice or something. I forgot. Forgive me, y'all. He is the one. And then that's when YAHAWASHI was like, go and quickly do what you're gonna do. YAHAWASHI already knew that Judas Iscariot was gonna betray him. But even the disciples like, oh hell no. I think it was Peter that pulled out his sword and cut off Malchus' ear. Side note, the prophets were no damn pushovers. Don't get it twisted. I always emphasize this, and the brother Yerami Gabar know that. How skilled you have to be to cut a man's ear off by pulling your sword out of the sheath. That's in one stroke, if you ask me, y'all. That had to be in one stroke. That means that the prophets were skilled. In other words, y'all, we not there for no violence, but I'd be damned if y'all think that we some pushovers. We're men. Remember that at the end of the day. And remember, Paul rolled with the Sakari. Sakari was killing people in the name of justice and whatnot. Not saying that Paul condoned it, but Paul, he hung amongst them people. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Anyhow, so going back, Matthew chapter 26, verse 51. And behold, one of them which were with Yahawashi stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priests and smote off his ear. Then said Yahawashi to him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. All you that take that gun and you want to shoot at it, guess what? They got the right to shoot back at you. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray unto my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that thus it must be? What is a legion? When you go into the research, a legion is approximately about somewhere between 6,000 to 7,000 soldiers. All right, a centurion is a man or is a captain that has the power over 100 soldiers. Hence the word century. The word centurion. Century means 100. Centurion is a man that's over 100 in his squadron. Right, a legion will be the 6,000 to 7,000 men. So Yahawashi said, you don't think that I can call my Father, he can give me 12 legions? Did he say 12? I think he said 12 legions. So let's just round it up to 7. 7 times 12. 7 times 2, 4, 1. 84,000 angels. And I never forget when Elder Apostle Hart said this, and it makes so much sense. He said one angel could flip this whole earth upside down. He ain't lying. Remember, like, you know how Jake said in the word, there's levels to this. You got 4 archangels. You got Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. Oh, damn, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. What's the other angel? Forgive me, y'all. I know it's Gabriel or Ariel. I apologize. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Ariel. Those are the 4 archangels. Those, I think, actually, if you ask me, I think that's the only time you actually got a name from an angel. They ain't bullshitting. So the reason why I'm bringing all this up, because Yahawashi had the power to call on angels. And you think your gun, well, back then they sword, but you think your gun, Black Panther Party, gonna do something against Esau when the Lord gave him the blessing of to live by the sword, which is also gonna be a curse unto him? But you think man, y'all better stop it. That's what I'm getting at right now. Continuing. This is Matthew 26 and 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that thus it must be? So Yahawashi, like, listen, I got the power to do all of that, but if it's thus saith the Lord, I can't ignore it. It all must be fulfilled, like it says in Matthew the 5th chapter. Not one jot or one tittle of the law be done away with, lest heaven and earth disappear. But the Lord said that heaven and earth shall abide forever. So in other words, all things in the scripture must come to pass. We all thinking about World War III and thermonuclear destruction, all this and that. Y'all, they haven't forcibly tried to implement that on MOTB yet, Revelation 13. There are so many dynamics of the scriptures that haven't come to pass fully yet that we get overly, excited. But the Lord said, pray for shorter days, because this is what we want. Shorter days of Esau's kingdom, because what? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, we are that which followed the beginning. So, as he's talking about fighting, going and shooting, ain't nobody gonna touch me. You know what I'm saying? We're the same. What he said right here? I'm sorry. I gotta do it. He said right here. He said we the same. Pardon me, y'all. He said we the same Black Panther Party from back in the day. All right. Salat. I'm literally at my last verse of this lesson, but like I'm saying, y'all supposed to be the same Black Panther Party from back in the day. Stop it, y'all, man. Stop. But I'm closing up. I'm closing out with these precepts right here. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, righteous anger, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And that fire is going to come from what? Those thermonuclear warheads. Okay? So, Jake, you know what I'm saying? Y'all look Hollywood. Y'all look Hollywood ready. You're not ready. It's Edomites out here, man, that would love to pick you off from 200 yards out. The last thing you're going to hear, last thing you're going to hear is an echoey. Then everything just going to turn dark. Everything going to turn black. Stop playing with these people, man. Like you're playing with the Most High. Chill. Okay? Dang, I just opened it up, man. Come on, man. My phone stay acting with that goofiness. Let me close out with this one, though. Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Once again, YAHAWASHI shall fight for us, and we shall hold our peace. So we ain't got to pick up arms and do nothing. The Lord got us, all right? So with that being said, I truly pray y'all was edifying, fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwame Allah, Buffalo Ball, Shalom.